Welcome back to Yogaxpress, your virtual stretch clinic that guides you to move the body to still the mind. Thanks to our special guest, Yael Reed, we are now changing our tagline instead of helps. And I'm going to ask Yael very briefly before I introduce our crew and the other cast. Yael, why did you use the word guide? You mentioned that off air in the couple of episodes ago instead of helps. See what you've done. You've influenced me now.
I know. That's my purpose. That's why I'm here. Because I pay attention to word. Mm-hmm. Because I understand how much word can hurt, can create an energy that makes another being guide. When we say we need to teach, usually a being, they don't like to be taught. Because at school, we're being forced to be taught things.
Right.
Just listen. This is the way it is. When you want to help a being, it is assuming, when you look at in a dictionary, helping someone is somebody that needs something that they can do for themselves. When you assist a being, you're assuming that they can do it. You just guide them to how to do it.
So it's more semantic? I thought you were going to give us some spiritual stuff and you're going to say, take me to that spiritual level. Okay.
It is the real, you have to take it for what it is, which is where we are now, purple.
Right.
Consciousness.
Okay.
It is the collective consciousness. What does that word mean? Not only to you, but what it means to everybody around. Mm-hmm. And then when you know what it means, is this what you want to project? Is this that energy that you want to project? I don't see a being as helpless. I see a being as able to do, but it's how it does things. So I'm here to guide that being to find what they want.
Hold that thought. I'd like to introduce...
diplomatic.
I know, now she's made me think, and I'm going to challenge you and have you come on the show again, just because we need an excuse for you to come back.
Okay.
But welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Josiane Hurd, who is constantly our director, and for once, for a change, she's had a chance to come stretch with us on the
I'm
mats.
very happy to do so.
We're very happy, delighted to have you. Josiane, in your words, you've been off camera for a very long time, so in your own words, remind our viewers all the crazy things that you do.
Oh, which I did, I mean...
You don't do them anymore?
No, unfortunately. Sailing, all kinds of martial arts, boxing, jiu-jitsu, karate, kendo, taekwondo, and sailing, and I play bridge.
And now you focus all that energy on the mat and in helping people
And
direct
yoga.
their
Yoga
shows.
was my link in between, because I did yoga all my life.
Right. I remember you used to mention you would cross your legs, sit at the computer for hours on end.
Oh yeah, I still do.
You still do. Welcome to the show, Josiane. Sarah Williams. Sarah, welcome back. Have you ever been on a show? You have actually been on the mat, right?
Right. This is my second time.
This is your second time.
Right.
You also crewed for us before, and we're delighted to have you back this time on
Thank
the
you.
mat. It's a great episode to be in. And you're also next to a very special guest right here. She will not only talk me out of all the wrong words that I use, now she's going to make you change your thinking as well. Welcome to the show. Sarah, is there anything you want to add
I think
about yourself?
about myself, I think I'm growing. I'm a filmmaker. I'm growing. Not only, I think every few years it's a new birth for me, and I believe that coming here and meeting you guys is part of that process.
See what you've done? You made her
Yes.
talk like you now. Welcome back to the show, Sarah. Lovely to have you. I'd like to acknowledge our crew. We have a wonderful team once more. Great teamwork. We have Chris, Willie, Leo, and Tom. We also have Barry, Z, and Celeste on camera. We have Anita, Ashley, Renee, and Rebecca in the control room. Under Rich and Drew's guidance, we've got a great team here today. Yogaxpress airs Monday through Friday, time 157, RCN 84, and FiOS 12:35, 1:30 in the afternoon. Just in case you miss a couple of episodes, every now and then we put a few excerpts on my website, yogaxpress.com, yogaxpress.com. You know what, the last episode, Yael, we forgot to call out, I'm sure they got the credits up there, we forgot to call out your website. It's a great site. I went and had a look and I really loved it. Why don't you call it out one more time, just in case?
Manifestfortv.com.
And the 4 is the letter 4, the number 4.
Yes, the number 4, which is
That's very
matter,
good.
Jupiter.
Use the lettering for
Right.
For
I think
yes,
it's a great idea.
it makes it faster too.
So every now and then we're going to have the credits. Our crew in the control room, please do remind yourselves, remind your team members to put Yael's credits up there, because I know our viewers will want to stay in touch with her. Yeah, what do you have planned for us today?
We are on the 7th chakra, the purple color.
I can already feel myself growing tall. I'm going to sit on this
And-
now. I know where you're taking me. I know where you're taking me.
And this is a powerful
Help
color.
myself, guide myself.
That was my favorite color when I was little. I didn't know why. Because when you're little, you're already there. There is no judgment, nothing.
There's
and that's
purity.
the color. Yeah. Not even purity, because purity, it's assumed that there is impurity. Staying centered is just being there.
Just being.
Just being there. No judgment to what is. Just wanted to experience life.
Right. Okay.
And 7th chakra is the top of your crown chakra.
Sahasrara,
And then
yeah.
in the episode yesterday, you said something about
We're talking about the pituitary in the back, the pineal gland in the front. We talked about pineal in the last episode, and today you're taking us back to the pituitary. So really what's happening is the cycle is coming back, and the whole body is not recycling, to use
I like
your term.
recycling.
Okay,
because
recycling the energy.
yes,
There you
because
go.
it's moving, and it's moving also like that inside of us.
Right. Well, there you go.
So it's not only a circle, but it's a spiral, and it's like the DNA, and it's moving inside of us, and then it goes back up like
I
this.
like the images that you bring up.
So it's the 7th chakra, and it's here to manifest, because you have the 1st, 2nd, but the 7th chakra, it's here, and you understand who you are, the being. You have the body, but that beingness here is the collective consciousness, the universal consciousness. And what I have found as information online, it says that is the Vivi of Ori, and it's release obsession, allow calm abiding, receive message from the God. So before we were opening the door for the God to talk, now it's like we're receiving the message from the God.
That's interesting. When you cross-reference various websites, everyone has their own interpretation. I like the way you've given it your own character to it too.
Yes.
I like the way you represent that, because different websites give it a different approach.
Yes.
But what remains constant are the colors. So
Yes.
now we're talking about, and you're dressed in that color too.
dressed in that
You're
color
already
and-
3/4 there.
Yes.
Like your earrings too. Are you going to help us experience that today? How are you going to do that?
That's funny, because I believe that everything is on purpose. So let's bring an example. She was asking me a question before the show about how do you let go of a being even though the being is not there in your life. Because I said to her, I thought the being was still in her life, and I said there is 3 ways to handle a situation.
Right.
First is to change it. You can change things, but most likely being, you can't change them.
Sarah, you okay for us to talk
Yes,
about
yes.
you?
Fine.
Okay.
And then the second part was to accept it. It's fine to accept people, but how far are you going to accept them to the point that, like you said, I hypnotize you. And I know what I'm doing. I'm taking responsibility for it. And I pay attention to the being that are also around me, because I know they're hypnotizing me too. So if you stay around a being that is always angry or always agitated, you will become angry and agitated. And what's happened is you start to reflect on them, and what you don't like or what you like, you're going to emulate.
What if you're married to such a person?
You hypnotize them.
You're pretty
So
calm.
so I need to influence the other person, right? So make sure that I'm more powerful.
So
of my
you
influence.
accept them, but you accept them to a point of, okay, this is how much I'm going to be able to do by accepting that person. And most of the time when you accept the beingness of a person, they change for you, even though they're going to be,
So acceptance is not assuming.
no,
that
not
they're
accepting,
not
oh,
up
I'm
to your
accepting, but I
level.
buy myself down.
Right.
No. You accept but you show still your beingness. You're still here.
It's something like my father would say, we talked about the thunderstorm. You cannot stop a thunderstorm, but you can carry an umbrella. So what you're doing is you're creating that shield around
Exactly,
you.
which is you, the beingness.
So if that
You have
person's
power.
negativity is not getting through to you,
No,
there's
actually
only
it's
one
going
way
through
for them
you.
to go. It's going right through. Only one way to go for them, they start turning positive.
Exactly. And then
You did it again.
and then the last part, because there is being, they are very strong with their energy and they will not transcend to your energy. That you have to cut. That you have to cut.
All right,
It's
I need to get
necessary.
my husband on this show now.
You have to cut because they will transcend you. And what is the most important thing? That's what I was telling you, your well-being. So how do you change that? Instead of all the word that you put to that being, oh, I'm thinking about that being, but I still like that being, and I miss that from that being. You put yourself on the front of the mirror and you talk to yourself like that being is you. And you look at yourself into that mirror and say, I adore you, I appreciate you, and I enjoy you, and I know how powerful you are. And
Done.
it
I'm doing
transcends.
that tomorrow.
Yeah,
Yes. It's very important to talk
that's
to
you.
yourself.
That's me. All right.
Because there are some people who drain your energy. I know I've been around
Absolutely,
people like that. And why you feel exhausted around some people, they really suck your energy out.
And you allowed it. So the
I like
best
the
way
way
is to
you
cut
said
it.
that they
You're not aware
drain
of
you,
it.
right?
Sometimes you're not aware of it.
Right. No, I'm always aware when people drain me. I'm going all limp and then I want to practice.
But it
you're
takes a
absolutely
while. It
right.
takes
Very
a
good
while,
term.
you know.
Draining your energy. Yeah.
You know, it's scary. It's uncomfortable.
Right. So what do you do when you feel all drained?
You have to build an aura around you. Like a,
No, but they've
like a
already
cocoon.
drained you. So how do you refill? How do you recharge?
You have to-
You come on the mat and stretch.
Yes.
You have to do something. I actually, in 2010, I was working a job that I left one day to go. I went out sick because I needed just a mini vacation, and I couldn't go back. And my friends that are in my hometown, my home area, when they see me or they speak to me, they're like, "You're a different person. You were always negative." I didn't know I was always negative. They were like, "You were always angry." And I worked in an environment
Right, that
I
made you
always
that way.
felt like that.
Because we have all of that inside of you. There is no wrong and no bad.
So is that what you were talking about, the aura?
The
that
aura,
people-
which is the energy that we're sending to people.
And do we all radiate different auras, different times of day,
Yes,
different days?
depend where you live, depend the being
But
that are around
every
you.
person can change
Every
every
yes.
time. Like the aura can change every time.
Yes.
Okay.
And it vibrates different
Interesting.
color. New York is a red aura.
Okay.
It's very about matter, making it money. So if you are somebody
I thought
purple,
we were green.
very calm, yeah,
kidding, I'm
that's
kidding.
sometimes I think that's interesting too. And what's happened is you take that being that is really calm from Sedona, for example, very calm and spiritual. You bring them here,
They can't deal with
they
it.
can deal with it,
And someone from New York would go to a very quiet place. They
and
can't
then they
handle
will
that.
be afraid, like,
They'll
why
be
is so quiet, you know? So you have to
Serious.
find your beingness where you are, and at first it starts from you, like you said, you, the society, and the whole
out
world,
there.
you know.
Okay, you've put some new thoughts into my head. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a little bit of stretching to keep in line with the momentum that Yael has given us. Yael Reed, please stay in touch with her. Her credits will come up every now and then on the screen on the bottom left. And if our crew is listening, right now the credit crew, if you're listening, please put them up as soon as you can. We're going to do some seated stretches. Yael, what I thought we would do today is do some knee benders, but just seated.
Okay.
That's not going to agitate or move the momentum in any way. It's not going to shift the calmness that you're
It's
taking us
perfect. Whatever movement you
All
do
right.
with your body is going to be
Let's
perfect.
do this. Let's all come up on our knees. We were going to do some knee benders because I think all of us, every now and then, we feel a lot of pressure on the knees. So let's do some knee benders today. Keep your knees at hip width and keep your toes flat. The tops of your feet are flat on the mat. Place both your palms on your buttocks and push your elbows back. Now Josiane and I, we will turn to face in, and that's it. Beautiful. So we can, they can pick us up in profile from either camera. Now, already when you open up your pectorals, when you open up your chest muscles, you already feel a kind of release in the back and in the base of the neck. And that's literally where most of us carry all our worries. You know, talk
Yes.
about weight of the world on our shoulders.
Yeah.
It's not really here, it's between the shoulders. So now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to inhale, lift your chin up, open up your chest, take your shoulders back, very gently glide your hands down the back of your thighs. Right hand reaches for the right heel, left hand reaches for the left heel. When you've made the connection, tilt your head back, tilt your pelvis forward, and hold. Keep your buttock muscles nice and tight, that'll protect your back, and keep breathing. Inhale, very gently, bring your hands back to your buttocks, and then lift your head up. Let's sit down on our heels. As we sit on our heels, we are going to, for some of you, you may be very comfortable bringing your knees out and you can bring your buttocks all the way to the floor. Now that can be a little bit of a strain, especially if you're accustomed to sitting in chairs. So I try to play it safe. I sit on my heels and we are going to go back. So that's a little more strain on the quad muscles, the front of the thighs. So here's what we're going to do. Very gently lower your right elbow to the floor and then the left. You could do either elbow. I just got used to saying right first and then the left. Then tilt your head back. Keep your knees on the floor. Do not lift your knees. If you take your knees up, there's pressure on the ankles. Now, if this feels a little tight, if your thighs feel a little tight, you can bring your knees out. And as you get stronger, your knees will slowly start coming into the center because you want to feel the challenge. So I'm going to try and keep it as close as possible. Keep my knees as close as possible. Hold it. Very gently press with your palms on the floor and let's come up one elbow at a time. Bring your head back and we're going to fold over all the way to the front. Inhale your arms up to shoulder height, palms facing down. Keep inhaling. Take your arms all the way overhead. Exhale, fold from the hip. This is an active posture, so you want to keep your elbows off of the mat. Keep your palms flat on the mat and then dip your forehead to the floor. Try to keep your buttocks down. Sometimes your buttocks may lift up automatically, in which case you may want to bring your knees out to the side and come down all the way. But you still want to keep your elbows off of the mat. Then bring in, if your knees are out, bring them together now. Press your palms together. Engage your low back muscles. Tighten your low abdominal muscles. Inhale, let's come up. Exhale and release. A couple of the twists that are included in today's, that were originally included in today's sequence, we did go through them yesterday, so we're going to go right past them. Let's sit down. Tuck the left heel under the right buttock. Cross the right foot over the left knee. This time you want to make sure the soles of both your feet turn to face the back of the room. Now one side may feel a little tighter than the other, and that's okay. Acknowledge the imbalance in the body and the mind. And if Yael says it's okay, if your mind can control and make both sides even, that's great. Yael, you're going to take us through some.
You have to.
Make your mind
Number
believe
one
that it
is
can
you have to
happen.
believe your body can do it.
Okay.
Your body
I'm going
can
to do it one of these days. Make sure the soles of both your feet face the back of the room. Right knee is up. Inhale the left arm up. Exhale, dip your left hand at the base of the neck, behind, in the back, and then take your right hand from behind. Clasp the opposite fingers. Once you've made that connection, look up, bring your elbow, left elbow close to your face. Take your right elbow all the way back, so open up your right shoulder and hold it. This posture is actually called cow face, apparently because the elbow looks like the ear of a cow, the knees stacked one on top of the other, like the mouth of a cow. I have no idea where they get the imagery from,
Yes.
but hey, it helps us remember the posture. Inhale and release. Let's switch legs. Let's untangle our legs first. Tuck the right foot under the left buttock. Cross the left foot over the right knee. Soles of both your feet face the back of the room. And I find this side of my body seems to, accommodate. It's a little more accommodating than the other side. So this side feels a little more comfortable. Left knee is up. Inhale the right arm up. Exhale, dip your right hand at the base of the neck and the back. Take your left hand from behind. Clasp the opposite fingers. And then wiggle your elbow right elbow close to your face, and look up and hold. Remember, even as we hold the positions, we continue to breathe. You don't have to necessarily maintain any abdominal or glottal breath. You just breathe. Breathe easy. Inhale. Let's release the hands first. And then swing the left leg all the way out to the back. Very gracefully. Let's transition. Take your left leg back. We actually closed the last episode with this posture.
Yes.
Remember? It felt so good.
You didn't want us to fall asleep.
And that's right. We dedicated this to you, Josie.
Thank you.
Curl your toes in and push your left knee all the way to the back. Uncurl your toes. Keep your palms on either side of your right knee. You want to keep your buttocks centered. So if you find that your right buttock goes down, you place something under the right buttock to keep yourself centered. Exhale and dip. Press with your palms. Inhale. Let's come up with a straight back. It is so tempting to just stay there.
Yes.
Swing the left leg forward and take the right leg back as gracefully as you can. I'm going to move this block out of the way. Curl your toes in the right foot and then push your right knee further back. Now this side feels so much more comfortable for me. Exhale and dip. Press with your palms. Let's come up. And then keep your left knee where it is. Glide the right knee close to the left. Place both knees close together and let's sit on our heels. Now, when you're sitting on your heels the way we all are sitting right here, you might find it's a wonderful, bending and unbending the knees is a wonderful exercise to actually help create synovial fluid. As we grow older, the knees tend to dry up. The fluid under the kneecap tends to dry up. So here you hear all those pops and crackles. Now, I know Renee and Yael are not there yet, but trust me, Josiane and I will give you lots of examples. When we hear little sounds of popping sounds, those are air pockets, nothing to be afraid of, but it happens as we grow older. So we want to be safe as you grow older. Make sure you work your knees. Take both your hands behind your back. Hold on to the opposite elbows. For those of you who feel you want to take this further, challenge yourself. Place your palms together in what we call a reverse namaste. I know you liked that term yesterday. And when you've got your palms up there, keep the palms really close and try to wiggle them all the way up. Do you want to turn around? I like that. Actually, Renee, I think maybe we should all turn. Sarah, you've got a very interesting way. She's got
I don't think I'll ever be able to.
Well, if you're going to think that, you're going to manifest it.
Yeah.
We're going to fold over now. Exhale and fold. Press with your palms, press with the tops of your feet, and let's come up. Inhale and come up. Exhale, release your hands, and let's come into Yael's, our special guest's favorite position. Soles of both your feet are touching. I know you love this, don't you? You started off this episode sitting in this posture. Sorry, Josiane. I'll move forward. Clasp both your feet with your hands and push your knees all the way down. That'll help bring your torso up. Now you could sit on a block. That'll help bring your knees down. The idea in bringing your knees all the way down is to help you feel the connection with the earth. That's what yoga is all about. Principle number 1 of yoga is gravity. You use your body the way, wherever gravity takes you. Of course, there are others. There's focus, there's circulation, organ massage. You have lots of principles. Now, exhale and fold. Push your elbow, with your elbows, push your knees down if they keep coming up. This is also a good stretch for your spine. The whole back of the body gets a beautiful release.
Oh, gosh, I feel so good.
Press with your palms, inhale, and let's come up. Very slow, controlled motions. Thank you. Now we're going to do 3 more postures. We have about 2 to 3 minutes left. Well, actually, we have 4 postures left. So 3 minutes, we're going to try and do them in about a minute and a half. And then Yael is going to close our episode. Let's come in a seated squat.
I like that
Now,
one too.
you love all the postures.
I heard that not a lot of people can do that.
They're not very comfortable because what happens is their heels come off of the floor, and it's okay.
Yes.
It's about
My
retraining
husband is
after
like
some
this.
time, right? And if that happens to our viewers, that's okay. What you want to do is make the connection. So place something under your heels. The moment you don't have anything under the heels, there's nothing to connect that charge, electricity charge within your body. There's tension. Tension builds up. That's when you go to Yael and she'll calm you down. But right now we're in the physical stage. So see if you can keep your heels down or place something under. Press your palms in. And get a nice workout for the wrist right there. And what was that thing you talked about, the goddess in me?
The goddess in me acknowledge the God and the goddess that you are.
I like that. The goddess in me acknowledges the goddess in you. Whatever posture you're in, we are all gods and goddesses. So just acknowledge the divinity within yourself. I'm starting to talk like you now. It's all your fault. Now press with your palms, push your knees out. Remember, your heels are closer than the toes. That's how you will be able to hold this posture for a long time. Very gently release. And let's not do the prone and supine. Just extend your legs out in front of you. Now this is not a knee bender, but it is a beautiful stretch after all those knee benders. So keep your feet flexed, both hands to the left of your hip. Exhale and dip. Keep your right hip down, keep your feet where they are. Do not take your feet with you, do not take your hips with you. Inhale, let's come up, and let's twist to the other side. Both palms to the right. Exhale and dip. Inhale, let's come up, and let's all, before I have Yael close this episode today, I'd like to acknowledge our crew. Great teamwork. Thank you so much. We have Chris, Willie, Leo, Tom, Barry, and Celeste. We have Anita, Ashley, Renee, and Rebecca under Rich and Drew's guidance. Thank you so much for making this episode happen today on behalf of Josie and Hurd, Sarah Williams, and our special guest, Yael Reed. This is Banu Suresh signing off. You are watching Yoga Express. We probably have 30 seconds. Any closing tips?
Remember the being that you are. You're extremely powerful, and everything that is out there, you manifest it from inside of you.
Manifest for TV. That is a great connection right there. Check out Yael's website. Manifest, and the 4 is the number 4.
TV.
For TV. Yael, thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
You should come more often, because the moment you go out there, I'm going to be my old self again. So if you want me to start thinking at that mental level.
We're emulating each other.
Great.